So when you look at a pattern in your life or something, when we're not happy in one area of our life, it's actually our guidance system is sending a signal that says something's wrong. It's like, stop, take a look at this, what's going on. So you recognize this signal in many ways, this part of the work. The first thing is you notice what's manifesting. For example, somebody who's ignoring you or somebody who's cheating on you. It's not about them. If you turn it around and say, what is it in me that is accepting or allowing to be ignored? That is accepting and or allowing to be cheated on or something? Or what is it in me that's feeling not worthy of making a lot of money or what have you? So then you start to recognize these patterns in you because it's a dynamic. It's like, it's a little bit more than the law of attraction, but even just that, by looking at the patterns tells you what's in your subconscious mind. But there are other methods as well, is regardless of the person or the circumstance, you, through a little bit of meditation and a little bit of training, not that much, you start to feel, you intend for the emotions associated with that pattern to come up. Because the emotions are part of your guidance system. We think like, we shouldn't feel angry, or when we're angry, we should like pretend that we're happy, or like say affirmation, I'm happy, or, but actually you're not,
Yeah, right.
So affirmations don't really work because you're kind of forcing yourself to say something, but that's not how you really, really feel. So I prefer to look at the emotion. If I really feel bad, what's that about? I'm not going to pretend and say I feel amazing when I really deep inside me, I feel bad. So with this exercise, you can, through breathing and, like I said, intention, you begin to feel what, where you are struggling. So it's very powerful exercise because all kinds of stuff starts to come out, something that seems irrelevant. And this is where the past life and ancestral thing comes in. So all sorts of strange things start to come up. Let's say you're unhappy at work. And all of a sudden you have feelings of being abandoned. And you're like, what? Like, what does this have to do with that? You are tapping into subconscious experiences that happen to you that trigger a feeling of being abandoned, which triggers the belief system. See, when you, as a child, when you feel abandoned, not loved, you come to a conclusion. Oh, my father left, therefore I'm not good enough. I'm abandoned. My father left home, therefore I'm a failure. I wasn't lovable enough for him to stick around. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The feelings get you to create belief systems.
Right.
The second you have a belief system, a new belief system, you didn't come in, you weren't born saying, I want to be abandoned. You were born saying, give me love, give me food so I can thrive. That's what you came to do. So it was later when you're 3 or 4 or 5 that through these external experiences, the feelings change your belief systems.
Yeah, they're like they're like the start of a new code.
Exactly. And that's the beginning of the pattern. Now, at the age of 5, when your dad left, you are adding information to your cells, to your cellular memory. You are saying, yes, I'm a young boy or girl or whatever, this and that. I have many friends, but also I'm not good enough to keep my father's love, for example. You add this information to your cellular memory. As a side note, I want to say that your thoughts aren't abstract. I mean, of course, they're abstract, like you don't see them, but it's an actual charge. It's an actual vibrate, like it's an actual frequency that's generated from your brain.
Think about it like almost like a wave, right? Like it's
Exactly.
the thought is still carries information in the form of a waveform
Exactly.
energy.
And Einstein even said once energy cannot be destroyed once created, it can be transmuted, cannot be destroyed. So this is a form of energy. This waves, I'm a failure, I'm not good enough, is being produced, right? Where do you think these waves go?
They go to other people and they latch onto them like glue and they bring them towards you.
But before they do that, they go into your cells.
Yeah.
And so that's why when you do this exercise, you would feel these emotions in certain parts of your body. Some people feel it in the heart, some people feel it in the liver, some people feel it in their legs. Why? It's because this is where the weakness, after years and years and years, from the age of 4, I started telling myself that I'm not good enough, I'm a failure, blah, 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 for years and years. Then I'm going to keep attracting experiences that match my new belief system. So I'm going to attract a girlfriend or a boyfriend who's going to abandon me, same pattern, so on and so forth. Eventually, fast forward, I'm going to attract a job. Do you see what I mean? You see how you don't think there's a connection, but there's a connection with everything. By the time I'm 30, 40, what have you, I'm in a career that I hate, but I'm still there to pay the rent or what have you. And I am miserable.
You've abandoned yourself too. That's why you're there, because you abandon yourself and what you really want. So your job is now information about you. I love that idea. Like, you said when something happens, the question I ask is, what's my part? Well, you always play a part, even if it isn't your fault necessarily. Doesn't mean you didn't attract that situation to show you something.
Exactly. You always have a part. That's the idea, because you are the creator. We don't want to have a part. You'll say, wait a minute, I didn't create my cancer. I didn't create this. So this is kind of where now we to continue, how do you undo this? And how do you get to the ancestral part or even past life?
Yeah.
So now here comes a 30-year-old person who's very unhappy with work, miserable every day, has developed a few illnesses or a few physical illnesses, because the liver that you've been pouring those thoughts into, I'm a failure, I'm abandoned, I'm not good enough, blah, 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 these thoughts all went to your liver. So by the time you're 30, you have problems with your liver or what have you, right? So he comes to you and he says, I hate my job, but I can't get out because I have to pay rent. And I have this physical problem. You see what I mean? It's all connected. Yeah. So the idea with this type of training is, as you sit with the emotions, you're going to start to feel, like I said, strange emotions that will come up, and you will feel them in your liver. So as you look at the cellular memory with this, again, if you're somebody's training, you're helping you, but even you can do it with yourself. You feel these emotions mostly in your liver. So you start to focus on the liver, and as if you visualize or you imagine that you have like a zoom, like in a camera. So you're looking deeper and deeper. Let me feel, let me sense what is in my liver that's triggering this problem and this huge sense of abandonment and sadness. And you're going to start to feel and see things. And if you are in this proper alignment, you're probably going to see your dad leave the home at the age of 4. So that basically is the root cause of your liver problem, but also your job situation and so on and so forth. You see what I mean? Sometimes it goes even before you were even born. And this is where, because you keep kind of zooming in, you keep going into the cellular memory. The cellular memory stores everything of your body. That's why it's called memory. And so if you keep going deeper and deeper, asking, okay, but why did I even attract this father to leave me at the age of 4? I came in wanting love. Why this father? Why this and that? You keep going backwards. And this is where you get into another life and ancestral things. And then you keep finding the root cause of what's happening to you in this lifetime. And the second you do, it's no longer subconscious. You bring it up to the surface and it's healed.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
I've found that too, when you, like, I've done really, really positive work with EMDR, and some somatic stuff on my own, but it's like the emotion is what, marks the beginning of a code, or the beginning of any code, a new code. And when there's emotion connected to it, whether it's like healing something from a pattern, or even manifesting something, even going into meditation and thinking about something that I want, if I really go into the energy of what it is, how it would feel, taste, smell, the reasons why, and just like be there in it, like I'm now anchored in that reality having happened. It's just a matter of time for this third dimensional reality to prove it out and show me, but it's already happened. And so I've had both of those things totally work, which is how I generated my first trip to Egypt, which is how I have changed past memories. It's all through emotion.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was saying. The emotions are your guidance system.
Yeah.
You can't ignore, you can't say, I mean, you can, but you can't say I'm happy when you really are not. Go to where you're not. It doesn't mean you're going to stay there. It just means that it's just a guide. It's just telling you start there.
Yeah.
And then when you do, this is kind of where you go in and you undo it. And then you can move into the vision. So what you're saying is very fascinating, because what you just explained and shared means that you're creating from the future. You are creating what you want from that place in the future. And that's the most powerful way to create from the future, especially if the feeling is so powerful and it's the real feeling. So meaning when you're there, you're 100% feeling like every inch of your body.
I cry sometimes, I laugh, I smile, I get hot, my heart rate gets up, like various different visceral expressions of what I'm going through.
If you like this clip and you want to hear the whole episode, click at the bottom of your screen.